Load up, strap in, warm the tires, and leave on yellow. Time for the MitsuTimes podcast, presented by MitsuTimes.org, the home of the fastest Mitsubishi cars. With your host, Josh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Josh from MitsuTimes. Today, my guests are from the YouTube channel Tunes and Tunes, Mr. Nathan and Cooper. Just two of the guys from the gang, right?
Yeah, just the two of us.
So, how are we today?
Doing great. How are you doing, Josh?
I am fantastic. It's finally not too hot, not too cold, and it's not raining.
Yeah.
Gotta get something done. I'm sure the shootout scramble is not just me.
No,
it's in full gear.
It's coming up so fast.
Yeah, it was like the IDRC guys put out those updates, and I feel like yesterday they said the shootout was in 60 days, and now it's in almost just a month.
Right.
It's like, well, all right, it's coming.
Yeah. We have a lot of people that are like, oops, we got to go.
It just feels like time gets away from you.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when finances come into play, having to buy stuff for new builds or fixes, it can become a little bit stressful. But we're hoping everybody's able to pull it off. We want to see a huge turnout this year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about Tunes and Tunes. Let's talk about the how, when, and why you guys decided to start this thing up.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the when, the idea has been looming for, many, many years. I know you, Nate, you got your first DSM way back in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
It would break all the time, and I would do what I could to help you fix it. And then I was eventually gifted my Talon back in 2016. I knew nothing about cars, absolutely nothing. But that summer, Nate and I, built it up. I fell in love, and I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, and we actually have also been making like short films and fun videos since we were kids.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're actually cousins. Cooper and I are cousins. So naturally we thought, hey, we should do YouTube videos of our builds. And maybe we know enough now so it looks like we know what we're doing.
Right, and with clever editing, we can make it look that way.
Yeah, but we really started the channel in late 2021, so not quite 3 years on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have. It's not like a regular YouTube channel, right? I mean, you guys are doing a little bit of everything. It seems like.
Yeah. We really sat down before, and we were like, okay, we want to make sure we do this in a way that looks, intentional and isn't just like a guy with a phone, which if that's what you have, start your YouTube channel, use your phone, but we, like I said, we've been doing videos and stuff for a while. So we wanted to kind of have more of a intentional approach and really make sure we did everything that we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. While also staying super authentic. We didn't want to be, this persona on the camera, and then when you see us at the shootout or something, it's a completely different person. I want Nathan to be Nathan on the camera. He really is, and and I want to be me, and everybody. It's just it's a bunch of friends doing what we love.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So where does the name Tunes and Tunes come from?
Well, like he said, we sat down, we talked about everything. We knew the cars that we wanted to work on, tuner cars. And Nate and I have been doing music for, even longer than we've been doing cars together. So we knew throughout the whole channel, every song that we wanted, every bit of music, we wanted to be ourselves. So doing the tuner cars, doing the tunes for the channel, it wasn't a huge leap to get to Tunes and Tunes.
That's perfect.
Plus the name was available.
Yes. It passed the Google check.
It rolls off the tongue, and it was available. And I have audio engineering and drum performance degree, so music is kind of what we've always done. And then a little bit of video here, and then it wasn't until high school where, I got into tuner cars and dragged everyone I knew in with me.
I was about to say, he pushed me down that pit real quick.
But it's kind of a family affair on both sides, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got, like he said, we're cousins, and then we've got Uncle Brad, who is Nate's dad, my uncle.
Yep.
We've got my brother. We ended up getting into it, and then my other brother will help us with like welding. He's a fantastic welder, so he comes in and helps us out. And then just some real close friends that we consider family.
Yeah.
So what's the channel all about? It's not just tech videos or racing videos. It's kind of a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah. It's really about following along with our builds and what we love to do. It's not a how-to or tutorial. We're just doing what we think is cool, and hopefully it inspires people to finish their builds or start a new build or show people that an engine or drivetrain swap isn't so hard. Just follow along with us with whatever we're doing, and I'm sure we'll get into other stuff as we decide what we want to do, as time goes on and cars change and,
Yeah. And I would see a lot of these threads on tuners, of these builds, and they would last months, and you'd just see an update after a couple months. Hey, we got out in the garage and did this. It wasn't a how-to, but they were bringing people along, and, people would look for those updates. This is just, it's kind of a similar thing. It's getting to know those cars and seeing the progress just in video form, a little bit more humor, but just bringing people along.
For sure. And, it makes me think of, like you said, the forum days where, whenever I wanted people to take pictures of their build on the forum, I didn't want like the up close shots of how you did it. I just wanted to see the progress happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Or the horde of parts that they just purchased in their living room.
Right. Well, speaking of your builds, let's talk about some of the projects that you guys are working on currently.
We have a lot. So,
yeah.
Part of, having a car YouTube channel is you have to keep the cars coming to have content constantly. But
yeah, you need a backlog.
Yeah, currently we have the Raven build finished. The videos are still finishing out, which those will be done by the shootout. But that's a 99 Eclipse GSX. And of course we have the Vista, which is our 91 Plymouth Colt Vista wagon that we've been turbo swapping and drivetrain swapping for the past couple of years. That's ongoing still. And then we have our 88 Dodge Ram 50 that we're 4G63 turbo swapping, and that's for our buddy Brandon.
Yeah. And then we have a couple that haven't been shown on the channel yet. One for my brother Camden that is done, but the videos will soon be coming out. And then one is a very secret one for Nate.
Yes.
That one's going to be exciting.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to be one that everybody gets excited about. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool. It'll be hard, cool. But it'll be cool. It'll be a fun challenge.
But it's also not just like building these cars, right? You guys also take them to the track, not just drag racing, do all kinds of different stuff and film your adventures doing that.
Right. Yeah, we want to be able to autocross some, drag some. I mean, take them to the events. I know Raven, Nate's GSX. That's more for car show. He spent so much time on that car, making it just pristine, and really did a fantastic job.
Oh, thanks.
And you're welcome. But yeah, each one has its own life and its own story and different goals in mind with it.
Yeah, we start out with, like, for Camden, we'll be like, Camden, what do you want to do with the car? And dream, what do you want to do with the car? And then he'll say, what he would love to do with it. I was like, all right, well, let's build it for that, and now he's starting with autocross, and eventually he'll get into time attack when he grows up. And the car grows up, and that's just stuff he wants to do. Maybe even road racing down the road. Maybe not with that car, maybe with a different car, but stuff changes, and everybody wants to kind of do their special thing with the car and the car that they have, and we want to support that and show it and share it with everybody.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's the most fun route, right? I mean, you get a little bit of not just DSMs, not just Colt Vistas, but a little bit of everything.
Yeah. As long as I haven't spent my whole life doing cars, I kind of just dove all into the 4G63 platform, so that's where my strength is. And when I don't have to worry about, oh, am I doing this right? I can focus on all of the other stuff in the build. I don't have to worry so much about making the engine right. So it's like, cool, engine, we know what we're going to do. Check. Let's go crazy on this other stuff.
Right. Let's try more on suspension, or let's try this drivetrain. Let's do these different things. Yeah, 4G663. That's probably going to be where we sit for a good while. Mm-hmm. It's our thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just building 4G63s. You guys are also putting them in things that didn't come with the 4G63. Right.
Yeah. As long as it's a mostly feasible swap, we'll try it. I know the Vista, actually, we are using the original block that came in it. It came with a single overhead cam 4G63.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, but the drivetrain could handle about 80 foot-pounds of torque, so we had to DSM drivetrain swap it, which has been the biggest challenge for that build. Yeah. The engine, that wasn't hard at all, because it's basically just a head swap and internal swap, but the drivetrain swap's been difficult. That way Alex can actually drive it like he wants to.
Yeah.
Those are always fun, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then getting into the wiring of everything, using part of the existing harness, what to use from that, what to bring in new, splice it all together. I know we have some large sheets of paper with just all of the diagrams, and large. Here's what we'll use for this, and here's how it'll go, and it takes a lot up front, and then once you get in, you rock and roll with it.
Yeah, like I've got a background in electronics, fortunately, so when the wiring is the easiest part of any swap for me or any build. So it's a saying I say to all my friends, it's just wires. It's just wires.
Oh man, I wish I had that problem. So what has been your motivation behind these builds, or has it been more sort of everyone, like you said, everyone has their own motivation, so you kind of let that direct the build?
Yeah, definitely. Like we are very intentional with each car. Like, hey, what is the goal of this car? Because we want to make sure that we do everything to that goal from the beginning. But like the motivation for like Raven, I've just wanted my own dream DSM, like my favorite, like things I've always wanted in a DSM, and with like the Need for Speed underground feel, which is kind of how I fell in love with like these cars and tuner cars and tuner culture, and just have the perfect street car to take to any event, car meet, race, or just cruise, like all around, but also just hop in and go, and have a car that I'm really proud to drive and own.
Yeah. For Snoopy, it was more of an evolution. Snoopy's my '96 Talon, and when I first got him, the goal was daily. It was about a 350 horsepower daily. Did it for a couple years. It was great. Mm-hmm. Life happens. I moved here, there, and everywhere, and so sits in storage for a couple years, and then finally, as we start doing the channel, it's okay. Now I want to start going towards a 10-second street car, even if it's 10.99, I don't care. A 10-second street car. And so everything's been kind of molded around that, while also we've been wanting to do some more kind of exploration with Snoopy of, well, let's try this. Let's see if it works in this car. And it's not all of it has been necessarily the prettiest, but it's been really educational for us.
We learned a lot.
Yeah. We started the Volvo power steering, the electric power steering that we've kind of done in a lot of our vehicles. We started that in Snoopy as let's see, proof of concept. Let's see if she works. And definitely works. I've very much enjoyed it. So we've been able to branch through. And that's kind of Snoopy. He's not necessarily the prettiest everywhere, but very purpose built with that. And then like the Vista, that's for our buddy Alex, and he's an old soul in a very young body, and so he needed a car that really captured that. And the Vista, it is such a dad wagon that it really embodies it, and he loves it. I cannot wait until that thing is on the road.
Yeah. And then like for the truck for Brandon, it was a cool and inexpensive entrance to building cars for Brandon, because he'd never done that. You know, and he'd helped us with many of our other builds. You know, we're working on it this day, and he showed up and helped. And he really wanted to do something, and the truck just perfectly fits him and, you know, who he is. But really, it was just a case of me tricking my friend into getting another car for content.
There you go.
It worked.
I mean,
But
plus
yeah, so
now you get to spread the infection of loving Mitsubishis his whole life now.
Oh, he
yeah.
loves it.
And
He's enjoying this so much.
He's already hooked, you know, and
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you said, we have a specific motivation behind each build. But the motivation overall is to have a specific motivation for each build.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So has making these YouTube videos kind of changed the way that you work on cars and build cars? Because, you know, you talk about taking a risk and experiment with something. Would you do that without the channel, you think?
Well, we would absolutely experiment. It's
Yeah.
As far as changed it, it's definitely slowed us down.
Yeah.
We get in the mode and we just want to go, and we have to slow it down and be like, wait, we need content.
Yeah.
And so it makes us be more intentional and explain
Yeah.
things and how we're doing it.
Or like, take that intake manifold back off. We forgot to get a video of it.
So many times. Yep.
Or you
Yeah,
have you ever done something and then realized that the GoPro didn't start recording?
Oh, yeah.
Couple passes down the track I had that was frustrating, but yeah, there have been a few, or it stops after 2 minutes and it was a 15-minute little session there.
Yeah. Or we hit record, we get into this super awkward position, you know, the feet up the seat under the dash position everybody loves.
Yep.
And then the battery dies and you have to get all the way back out and change the batteries. But yeah, it slowed us down, but as far as, you know, we're doing what we're doing, whether the cameras are rolling, whether we had a YouTube video or YouTube channel or not. This is what we would experiment. That's just the kind of people we are.
Yeah. Now we're just kind of we're learning to call somebody out and say, "Hey, Camden, you're holding the camera tonight."
Yeah.
That way he can monitor it and we can more focus on what we're doing and just capture stuff, get the footage so we can continue to move. So we're learning as we go, but the overall goals of the builds that same with or without the channel.
I think you guys do a great job of like the continuity of it, because sometimes you're watching a YouTube channel, they're working on a car, and then that's the end of that episode. And then the next week videos comes out and there's like all this work done that we never even saw.
Yeah. That's hard. It is hard to remember to do that.
Yeah. There were parts of, I know, some of the Snoopy stuff that were like that, and so we kind of have to go in back after and here's the update. Here's everything we did and the reason for it and all that stuff. And then we get into the Raven build and absolutely everything was filmed, so we don't have that problem. So we're growing with it, we're learning with it, and then each car. The videos are probably going to feel a little bit different. The Vista videos and the Snoopy videos, there's a lot more jokes in there, and just lighthearted. With the Raven videos, it's very much more kind of technical and showing everything. And so there are going to be those different feels, but I mean, they're different cars, different builds. They probably should feel a little different
with different people behind the wheel.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we even. It's subtle, but we score, so we write all of our original music to fit the vibe of the car that we're building. So like for Uncle Brad's Galant VR4 build, that's all early 90s, late 80s, like Eddie Money rock pop. You know, that's the vibe that he wanted for that. And like Brandon for the truck, you know, he wanted like a new metal, like early 2000s, late 90s new metal vibes. So that's what we did. And, you know, Coop with Snoopy's the progressive metal, and it just kind of fits the vibe of the car. So, you know, we really try and paint a picture of the feel of the video series for that car as a whole.
for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. So would you say that there are YouTubers or creators that inspire you and the way that you guys make these videos?
Definitely. So, like, we really take, we don't try and like copy anyone. So we take all of our inspiration and we intentionally try and form that into our own thing. you know, because it's better that way. If it's yours and it's authentically you, and you can do a good job with it, it ends up being better. But like we've got some YouTube heroes, of course. Like we've been watching Jaffro from the beginning. He's a huge inspiration for working on cars and making videos, and a lot of the techniques for working on cars I learned from him. 10 years ago when I started working on cars. Yeah, we all love Jaffro.
Oh yeah, and then I know for me, when we first started on the Snoopy build, Nate said, go to YouTube, look up Project Street Sleeper by Turbo Tom, and I'll tell you, I watched through that thing probably 10 times. I love that series. It was, I mean, it had great quality of video. It showed everything from start to finish, and humor. It had that humor in there, which I love. And so that one for me was just a fantastic one. And then, of course, there was Joe Wrenches, just fantastic guy, always just so positive and good in the community. Huge inspiration on that of keep filming, keep going, keep doing. And then, Mighty Car Mods, Donut, those bigger ones, we've been watching for years.
I think it really didn't come off for me enough until I kind of started making, a couple YouTube videos for events or whatever. But how confident Joe was behind the camera, you don't really fully appreciate it until you're making videos.
Right, it's tough. It's scary there for a sec, but it felt second nature to him, just so effortless.
Right.
Yeah, he was also the same person on and off camera too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. So what would you guys say the goals are for Tunes and Tunes for the rest of this year and into 2025?
Well, for the channel itself, obviously just consistent videos going out and continue to grow that watcher base. The more people that watch it, the better, the more we can inspire people, if that, or just entertain.
We get amped up too to do more.
Absolutely. The encouragement for us is there. For the cars themselves, I know for me, getting Snoopy into the tins is a huge goal. We made some changes this last year that we had to work through. So I've got an 11.5, and we've got room to grow.
We've got room for sure.
It's there right now. It's a lot of just figuring out those bugs, and then a lot of driver mod. I have very little seat time, and so just continue to get better and to learn and take advice from people. But yeah, a 10-second pass would be fantastic.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to be part of a car club that has a lot of driver experience and willingness to help, and they're there too whenever we're racing. So we always have a good crew. Cooper gets some really good insight to the pass he just made and what he should adjust, and it's really been helpful. You can see some of that in our latest racing IFO video. We come in from a pass and everyone's talking about it and adjusting things, and then he gets back out there and it improves, and we just knock it down and down. So that's cool.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world.
But some of our other goals for the rest of this year, next year, would be to get the rest of our current projects finished and on the road, of course. And we really want to go to more events next year.
Yeah.
That would be great. Less, like right now, I mean, there was a point in this summer where we were working on 5 different cars a week.
Yeah.
And it's hard to go to events when you're doing that. You're trying to get stuff finished up and, to get ready for an event, then go to an event. And, it takes a chunk of time, and we're not on a tight schedule. The only tight schedule we're on right now is trying to get the truck finished for the shootout this year, which we're close, but it's going to be tight.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to kind of structure everything, and really it becomes, you have to think of it like a job. I'm scheduled there at this time, and we're going to put in this many hours of work, and when you do that, you can hit the goals. So we just got to stay motivated and stick with it to hit those. But yeah, like he said, we'd love to hit more IFO events over in the Ohio area, and hit some streetcar takeover, import versus domestic if we can.
Yeah, those are all close enough to us. We could do that.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely be a lot of fun. Make it to more racing events. I think that's a good goal for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know I talked to you guys in person about doing some like road course stuff, so I think that'd be cool too, to not just see the drag racing side, but also you guys do some other stuff with these platforms.
Yep. Yeah, we like Camden so far is our road course guy. He's on that path currently, and he's part of the local SCCA autocross here in Fort Wayne. So yeah, he's on that path, and we're getting other cars ready for other stuff, and yeah, it'll be cool. I don't know if Cooper wants to turn Snoopy, but if he doesn't,
yes.
we'll just get him a different car.
Yeah, we've already been in the talks of a different vehicle purpose built for that for me. That if we can make that specific one happen, oh boy, it'd be fun. But if it's not that, something else, we definitely want to branch out and do a bunch of things. We can do whatever we can.
Yeah, just our car club is everybody drag races in that, so it was really easy for us to just hop into that mix and start drag racing. Yeah.
So what would you say are the ultimate goals of Tunes and Tunes?
Ultimately, it would be really sweet, obviously, to have the channel get big enough that that's our full-time job. Not for like the fame or get rich or anything like that, but just to be able to do bigger and better builds, and to get to do your dream and what you really love to do as your job.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another main goal for the channel is to just show people, you can build your dream cars without, in a limited budget. It can take a while, like we said, the Vista's, it's ongoing. We have to spread that out just because life happens. But if you don't give up on it, you keep going and you keep making even small steps forward with it, eventually you're gonna have it. And that's part of the process. That's part of the reason you do it, is for the process, the build itself.
Exactly. Like the reason the Vista build is taking so long is because we're not spending beyond our means to get the car done quickly, or buying cheap parts to get it done quickly. It'll
compromises.
It'll be done. It'll be done well when it's done with good quality parts and the time and attention needed to do a car like that right.
Yeah.
You won't be seeing a bunch of videos about, well, we broke this.
Well, if we do, it's because he pushed it harder than anyone else, because this guy, Alex, drives like nobody else.
He's nuts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's the breaker.
He is.
Yeah.
He will be, for sure.
Well, you said something about an unlimited budget, so let's talk about if Tunes and Tunes had an unlimited budget, you got a whatever business loan, what's the dream build for you guys?
4G swapped Subaru.
No.
Some DSM WRX hybrid madness.
No. The drivetrain alone would be a nightmare.
He said unlimited.
Oh, I guess you're right. No,
somebody else do it.
Let's let somebody else do it. I'd love to do an Evo 3. Those are getting more expensive, and to do the nicest of nice with an unlimited budget on an Evo 3, I think you could have a really cool car.
Absolutely.
But the unlimited budget would be an Evo 3 with a purpose-built shop around it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, like, Uncle Brad has a shop, and that's where we do our cars now, and that's been huge, and it's a great shop. It has everything we need, but it would be nice to have like a dyno bay and all this stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Like a legit speed shop, but
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like if you learn how to do the dyno stuff and you can fine tune it on video, people usually love those kind of videos.
I love those videos. Yeah. And like I tune all of our cars, so having the dyno would be just that next level would be great.
Yeah. Well, for the rest of this year and, however much you guys have planned for next year, what events can we catch you guys at?
Well, we went to the Ohio IFO events this year, and we're definitely going to do that again next year. And, I mean, obviously the shootout. We wouldn't miss that for the world. But like I said, next year, hopefully a streetcar takeover, import versus domestic. Those are ones that we would love to hit.
Yeah, and maybe catch some more of the events down in Muncie with Aaron Anderson of CSM TV, because that's pretty close to us here in Fort Wayne. So
no excuses.
He does all those whole shop media stuff, and it'd be cool to hop in on those.
Looks like a pretty good track.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, we've both raced on it before, so it's there's no grandstands, but it's a good track.
Right.
All right. So let's talk more about the shootout, because, I'm sure most people listening know the shootout is like our Super Bowl for the Mitsubishi community. So what are your plans and goals for this year's shootout?
Well, we have a couple cars making moves. I mean, we've got Snoopy. I'm running in the 11.5 index and hoping to get further into that and maybe get a win. And then Camden will be running autocross and I believe the 12.5 index in his car that is yet to be shown.
And if he's not
on the channel,
if he's not, he is now.
Yeah, I just locked him in.
You just locked him in.
Yeah.
There you go, Cammy. And then obviously the 10-step foot race will be back with a fury this year.
Of course. Yeah.
The most important part of the shootout, according to most.
That's right. The location is undisclosed, but it's right by where we camp.
Every year.
Yeah. We'll also have my car Raven and Uncle Brad's Vic, which is the Galant VR4. Those will be there for the car show. So we're bringing 4 cars this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe 5. If we get the truck finished, we're bringing 5.
Done. Then the rest of our car club will bring.
Yeah, of course. But just Tunes and Tunes, there's probably going to be 5 cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much covering every different type of racing, too.
Yeah.
Trying to, yeah.
So where can we find your channel and all the social medias that link to your channel so we can see those shorts and those reels to draw us in?
Yeah, the easiest way is to just go to tunesandtunes.com. And from there you can go to the YouTube channel, or we've got build sheets of details of every part that's on the cars, and pictures, which is really cool to check out if you were like, oh wait, what turbo was on this? And then you can see at every step of the way what part was changed, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, then our Facebook page and our Instagram are also linked on the website.
Yeah, and the website is tunesandtunes.com. It's TUNESANDTUNES.com.
Yeah. Or you could also go to youtube.com/@tunes and tunes.
And that's and, not the plus sign.
Right. The plus sign is the logo,
Yeah, it's more aesthetically, it's nice. The
because
tunes plus tunes.
The plus sign is made of T's.
Yes, and the T's and tunes and tunes with the tunes and the tunes.
Yeah.
So everything has T's.
Everything has
That's
T's.
right.
Turbos.
We're full of T's.
Yeah.
Tom.
Well, you guys have been, you guys have a big car club group. You have some real close friends. You are shootout regulars. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to for, being one of those guys that help help feed your new ideas or, help troubleshoot a car issue?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, our local car club, Club Diamond Star, for sure. They've been really a staple in encouragement and knowledge for us. It's amazing the amount of knowledge and experience that you can get when you get these guys together with the common interest and the common goals. And it's been absolutely invaluable.
And they also feed our dream too, because we have constant meetups, and everyone shares their cars. They've got cool cars that they share with us and give us ideas and all that. So yeah, the club is I'm going to give a huge
Yeah.
shout out to Club
course.
Diamond Star.
Yeah, and then obviously our wives, without their support, we wouldn't have that extra income for the car parts.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And also, we all the other friends that tagged along to help us out, on or off screen throughout the journey. The forums have been huge. I mean, I've been reading the tuners forums since 2009 when I first got my DSM, and I was like, what is this thing? And that's been huge. So shout out to DSM tuners.
Yeah, and just anybody that comes along the way. And I mean, we've had some comments on posts on Facebook or on some of the videos where it's, hey, I ran into something similar years ago, and here's what I did, and just those little tidbits of throughout the years that, oh, I didn't think about that, and those little things. People they're not in it for themselves. They just want to see these things on the road again, and they're willing to
Sure.
share and to help out. It's huge. I love this community for that.
Yeah, and thanks to Uncle Brad and Aunt Leanne for letting us take over their shop all the time.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sorry, and thank you.
And have many not running cars in the driveway and on the trailers.
Yeah, if only temporarily. It's still, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Somebody's got to look like the hoarder.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, what else did they buy all that property for?
Right. Exactly.
All right, gentlemen. Well, if there's nothing else, I just want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for the YouTube All-Stars channel. I think that's been really fun for people who, either make YouTube videos now or want to get into it to kind of fight for that very exclusive list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
thought
love
that
it.
was really fun.
Yeah, like I said, we want these cars on the road. We want these cars shown. So, I mean, any encouragement to get people to film your stuff, put it out there, or get it to the track. Because you can have a channel, but if you don't get it to the track, it ain't on the list.
Right.
So,
and just like the video we put out recently, someone commented, "Hey, I because of your videos, I just started on my Talon project." And that's that we love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those
Save
kind
these
of
cars.
messages always feel good.
Yeah.
yeah, and thank you, Josh, for everything you do with MitsuTimes and getting that list there and all the help with the shootout, advertising and trying to make it bigger and better. That's what it needs. We want it to grow. We want it to thrive, and you're a big part of that.
Well, I appreciate it.
Times. Yeah, it's definitely given another big breath of life to this platform.
Yeah.
Not just DSMs, but the Mitsubishis that aren't made anymore.
Yeah.
Yep, all the cool ones, I guess, now.
That's right.
Right. Only the best survive.
Right.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you for taking the time to come on here and do this, and I can't wait to get some people over to your YouTube channel and then see you guys in person here in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. It's been fun.
Of course.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the MitsuTimes podcast. Check out our Instagram and Facebook for daily updates. Get added to our list by going to MitsuTimes.org and clicking Submit a Slip. Thank you to all of our